If the Red-Green Alliance isn't a formal organization, why did the term emerge in the first place? To answer that question, we need to step back into the world of the Cold War. For nearly half a century, the United States and the Soviet Union competed for global influence. Their rivalry extended far beyond Europe, shaping conflicts, revolutions, and political movements across Africa, Asia, Latin America, and the Middle East. The Soviet Union believed that influence wasn't gained only through military power. Ideas, education, diplomacy, and propaganda were also powerful tools. Throughout the Cold War, Moscow supported governments, revolutionary movements, and political organizations that aligned with the Soviet interests. It also invested heavily in media, international organizations, publications, and messaging designed to challenge Western influence. The Middle East soon became one of the Cold War's most important regions. Interestingly, the Soviet Union's relationship with Israel did not begin the way many people assume. When Israel declared independence in 1948, the Soviet Union was among the first countries to recognize the new state. Through Czechoslovakia, it also approved arms shipments that proved important during Israel's War of Independence. But as Cold War priorities shifted during the 1950s and 1960s, Soviet foreign policy changed dramatically. Moscow increasingly aligned itself with Arab nationalist governments, including Egypt, Syria, and Iraq. Following the Six-Day War in 1967, Soviet anti-Zionist messaging expanded significantly. Official publications increasingly portrayed Zionism as a form of colonialism, imperialism, and racism. These narratives appeared in newspapers, educational materials, international conferences, and state-sponsored media. Many historians argue that these campaigns influenced political conversations well beyond the Soviet Union itself. At the same time, another political force was becoming increasingly influential throughout parts of the Middle East. Political Islamist movements sought to organize society according to particular interpretations of Islamic principles. These movements were not all the same. Some participated in elections and political institutions. Others rejected democratic systems entirely. Understanding those differences is essential before drawing historical conclusions. So why did some writers begin speaking about a red-green alliance? Supporters of the term argue that despite major ideological differences, some activists on the political left and some Islamist political movements occasionally found common ground around shared opposition to Western military intervention, criticism of American foreign policy, and support for particular Middle Eastern causes. Critics disagree. They argue that temporary cooperation on individual issues does not represent a lasting alliance, pointing instead to deep disagreements over religion, democracy, economics, individual rights, and the role of government. Because of these competing interpretations, the phrase Red-Green Alliance remains controversial today. In our next documentary, we'll examine the historical events that supporters and critics most often point to when discussing this idea, and begin exploring the evidence behind the debate. If you enjoyed this documentary, please subscribe to Roots and Resilience. New documentaries explore Jewish history, geopolitics, media literacy, and the historical events that continue to shape our world. If you'd like to support future research and help keep these documentaries independent, you can also support the channel through Buy Me a Coffee. Every contribution helps fund books, research materials, and future productions. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next documentary.